All right, welcome into a special playoff edition of Watching. This one is going to be on the brand new minted legend of the Toronto Blue Jays, Mr. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This is the guy that they signed out of Dominican Republic as a 16-year-old, is one of the top international free agents. He finished runner-up in the MVP in 2021. There's always been a ton of promise with this guy. What was going to happen with the contract situation? That got worked out as they signed him to a 14-year, $500 million deal early in this season or before this season. And he did not disappoint, having another solid year, 4.5 WAR at the plate, hitting 292 with a 381 on base, 467 slug for an 848 OPS, 133 OPS plus. However, the power numbers, 23 home runs, a little disappointing in the regular season. We headed into the playoffs to wonder how Vlad would do versus the Yankees. Would he put it all together? And he did not disappoint. In the postseason, in this series versus the Yankees, it's 20 plate appearances. We're going to watch all 20, 17 at-bats, scored 5 runs, got 9 hits, hit 3 out of the ballpark, 3 homers, 9 RBIs, walked twice, only struck out 1. That equates to a 529 batting average, 550 on base, and a 1,609 slugging OPS for the series. So without further ado, let's go watch every single at-bat that Vlad had versus the Yankees, see how their pitchers tried to get him out, ultimately failed, and how he took over this series on offense. First victim of the series was the Yankees' Game 1 starter in the DS, Mr. Luis Gil. Starts him out with a 4-seam up. Going to come back here with a little slider, middle, massive swing at that. Kind of hard to tell what Vlad was looking at in this series, and we will get into it and we'll try to investigate a little bit more. But early in the count, he is not getting cheated, looking to do maximum damage. You see that swing right there. He comes absolutely unglued. And one of the things I love about Vlad is how he can take this hack and also be more calculated when he's behind in the count. All right, 1-1. Here comes a right-on-right changeup attempt. A little down. Vlad came into this contest with a lot of confidence, as you can see from this take. The body language on the take here with a little hop step. And gets himself to a 2-1 count where he announces his presence in this series with authority. Heel doubles up on the changeup. Vlad's all over it and sends it to deep left. Now, to my pitching eye, in this at-bat, I would say he was definitely sitting off speed. First pitch fastball, he takes it above the zone with absolutely zero trigger. And then Heel goes to a combination of breaking balls. He goes breaking ball on the second pitch and then changeup. And you can see he's not out front. He's perfectly on time. Vlad does a great job in this at-bat of, even though he's drifting forward, keeping his weight back so he can stay back on a changeup and take advantage of the mistake, which he does there. And he drives this ball 102 at 37 for the first hit of the series for him. And he announces the presence with authority. And the Blue Jays are going to be off and running behind Vlad's lead after this home run. All right, so first at bat, he clips a right-on-right changeup. He would face Luis Gil a second time in this game. Let's see how they go about him. First pitch fastball dotted down and away. Very good pitch. So both at-bats now, he's gotten ahead of him with a fastball. Let's see if he tries to go a little harder now since he got beat with soft stuff. Yep, sure enough. Doubles up on the fastball. Locates it perfectly down and away. So 2 perfect pitches to open this at-bat. Vlad just pulled the changeup for a home run off of you the previous at-bat. Luis Gil comes back and throws basically the opposite of that, which is a screaming heater, and he keeps it away from him to boot so he can't just pull it. And he jumps ahead 0-2. Going to try to throw that slider off that same fastball line. Unfortunately, he overcooks it just a tough, and Vlad has a nice, easy take here. Does trigger, but you can see the body language. He's extremely engaged and locked in these at-bats. You see the way he pops this bat back, telling himself, nope, we don't want that pitch. We are not chasing. And he gets himself to a 1-2 count. I like the pitch call here, honestly. A fastball appears to be sitting on off speed. But this is the part of Vlad's game that I think takes him to the next level. The fastball's away on the corner, pretty much dotted. And after this is the 4th pitch in this at-bat, all away. Vlad says, you know what? I'm going to take what the pitcher's giving me. Hitting is such a reactive sport. You can't control what they're going to throw. You can only do what they give you. So basically, you can only kind of do I'm not really speaking very well in this portion of the video, but whatever they give you, that's all you can do. You have to play the cards you're dealt, is what I'm saying here. Sometimes they don't give you anything to drive pull side, and you got to take your knocks to right field. I really love the swing here. It's a little line drive the other way for 88.9. And you're going to see as this series goes on, the usage of two different swings. The big, powerful, pull the ball out of the stadium swing, and the line drive sprayed to right swing. Both serve him extremely well, so 2 for 2. And he's feeling himself early in this series. Now he gets Camilo Doval in the 6th. Let's see how they approach him. Fastball up, ball, non-competitive. So all 3 at-bats so far, they've been fastballs. Don't be fooled by it saying cutter. This is the version of Camilo's fastball. It's a cutter sort of fastball thing. Doubles up, 1-1, back to the slider. A little take there inside. Scoots him back, 2-1, back into a hitter's count. And there's that big hack. Again, when he's in a hitter's count, not afraid to take a big swing, but not afraid to miss either. Not afraid to look bad because he knows he can make an adjustment after this. So on this pitch, definitely looking for something middle in. And he's completely off of that, going to 2-2. And now the Yankees are going to go back to the slider. This was a pretty good pitch to hit, but Vlad was a little screwed up in this at-bat. Not sure what to look for, slightly off time. I think they convinced him to be on the fastball. After getting a bunch of fastballs in that previous at-bat and even a 2-1 fastball in this at-bat. So this is the first time that we see him a little bit off time. And the Yankees kind of get away with one there because for my money, this is not a great location for Doval. 2-2 to Vlad. This ball nestles in the bottom of the zone, middle in. He's lucky he wasn't on time, or it might have been 3 for 3 with 2 homers in this game. All right, so 2 for 3. We head into his 4th at-bat. This time he gets Fernando Cruz. This is going to be fastball splits. Fastball down, ball 1. Now, this is a big moment in the game where you have an open base, probably not going to give in, and you can see just how engaged Vlad continues to be in this at-bat and in this game. With the take here, a little dancing in the box, very active feet, staying athletic and light on his feet is a good strategy as well. 2-0, waiting to pounce, pitch is down, and you gotta love the little squat take here. That Vlad shows here. Again, just showing quite a bit of energy and personality in this first matchup. 3-0. Swinging all day long with 2 guys in scoring position. Just misses it. Hits it 96.7 at 40. But it's not all about him. This is team baseball. He gets the job done with a sac fly. I like them unshackling him on 3-0. He's the type of hitter you want swinging on 3-0. And I also love the reaction from him. Even though he doesn't crush this ball into the upper deck like he probably wanted to, he's very, very satisfied with what he does get done, which is driving another run. Keep the line moving. Just misses it, but you see the fist pump. He knows what the job is, and he delivered. Despite it not being perfect, it gets the job done. All right, now he's going to face Mr. Paul Blackburn, former teammate of mine, in a 5th plate appearance of this game. This game was already out of hand. So let's see how the Yankees approach him in an out-of-hand situation. Sinker. This is the first sinkers he's seen today. Sinker, 2-0. Not a good place to be. They're going to try a little cutter. Again, you could already feel it in this game. There's going to be a lot of nibbling to this guy based on the way he looked in those first 2 at-bats. Gets himself to another 3-0 count. Surprised he doesn't come unglued here, honestly. But the ball is dotted on the corner. Goes to 3-1. Blackburn's going to try a cutter. And once again, Vlad shooting the ball to right. This has been, this is the type of thing I've been talking about a lot on the stream when I've been watching him. Obviously, he shows the capability to pull a changeup for a home run in this game, swing big when he needs to, but also if the pitch is going to be running away from him off the plate, he instinctually knows just to hit the ball where it's pitched. Pitches away, I'm going to slap it to right, and I'm going to get myself a base hit. So that's it for the first game of this series, which the Blue Jays dominated in no small part, thanks to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who goes home run, single, fly out, sac fly, and single. So 3 for 4 with a sac fly and an outstanding first game. All right, now let's go to game number 2 of the series. This was the famous Trey Savage game, but we're watching the offense here. Vlad goes 3 for 5 in this game versus Max Fried as the starter. Here is the first at-bat. This is the first lefty he sees in the series. Fried tries a sinker, first pitch down. He's going to double up here. This is another pitcher that I expect him to go the other way with and definitely hit the ball where it's pitched. This pitch looks to me like to be borderline down. Got to give credit to Wells for a good stick there. But it gets to 1-1, and you can see Fried's early approach here is to try to get him on the ground. Sinker, sinker. Actually, triple sinker here. Vlad chops it in the ground super high, so it does kind of get the effect that Max is looking for. However, Vlad pummeled this ball on the ground, ran hard, and at this point, it doesn't matter what they look like. You're just trying to get on base. And I think he was trying to shoot the ball to right field a little bit, just a slight pull-off here. But anyway, when it's going good, it's going good. And it's certainly going good for Vlad, and he's on to start off this game in his first at-bat. Second at-bat for Max Fried, and he got 3 sinkers the first at-bat. Here comes a cutter. This one actually gets to middle in, but again, he's been geared to that right center, anticipating pitches away from him after that first at-bat in the first game. Also anticipating sinkers and changeups running away from him from Max. So he does not adopt his kill the ball approach here. He just has this nice, simple shoot the ball to right field approach. Even though this pitch is middle in, he stays through it beautifully. Little flip it into short right center field for a hit here, and they were on their way to chasing Max Fried out of this game. Now again, look at the technique here. They pitched him away, away, away first at bat. Second at bat, they say now we got to show him something in. And this is no measly cutter either. This is 97.4. This is an extremely good cutter for Max Fried, one of the best pitchers in the game. And you see this ball, it definitely gets in on him, but again, his energy, you don't see his weight shifting way out here to pull off. In fact, his initial move is actually a little more towards the plate with his weight. He hits it, and his initial move out of it is to lean forward towards first base. You see this right here? So that tells me this was a concerted effort to stay inside the ball and take his hit to right. Beautiful approach if you can do it, and I honestly think more people should watch this tape and figure out how to have 2 swings like Vlad, because it's awfully effective and really hard to pitch to. All right, third at-bat versus Will Warren. Trying to blow this game open. It's currently 5-0, bases loaded. And it's a full auto take on the first pitch, knowing that they're not going to challenge him right away. He could sniff the fear in the Yankees pitchers, and that often informed his approach. Big time passive, goes full statue mode, and gets himself to 1-0 on the sweeper. Warren's going to try to come back here with a backdoor sinker. And when you throw backdoor sinkers for called strikes early in at-bats in big spots, the reason why you try to go to this pitch is because you're hoping he doesn't swing at all. With Vlad, you really don't want him to swing at all at a strike. You want him to take this strike, and you want to try to get out of there with as little amount of Vladimir Guerrero swings as possible, because those swings are all very dangerous and very scary for a pitcher. See, he tries to shoot this ball away and bring it back. Unfortunately for Warren, he's down with that pitch just a tad, and he gets himself into a nightmare situation of 2-0 versus Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That forces a challenge sinker. Let's see where he gets it. Kind of middle up, right down the middle. Vlad gives the big nod. Surprised he didn't swing out of his shoes there, but he was definitely looking for something to come out of a little bit of a different lane. If I had to guess, he was anticipating breaking ball there, assuming there's no way these guys are dumb enough to throw me a fastball 2-0 with the bases loaded. But they ended up doing it, and I do like the reaction. Again, he's giving you a lot of info on how he's feeling on the plate with his reactions to his takes. See the nod there, saying, yep, all right, I got you. And guess what? He now gets ready for the fastball. He says, okay, you want to come fastball? I can play that game. And even though they switched to 4-seam middle in, he absolutely demolishes this pitch at 110.7, 415 feet. Completely puts this game out of reach with a grand slam. Rogers Center, completely, in a jubilant scene. And let's watch this again from the regular view. Look how he pulls the hands in. And this was a big theme in this series between him and Judge, being able to pull the hands in on fastballs. But Will Warren switches to a more verty fastball after that sinker. Unfortunately, it's just not enough to get by Vlad. Look at that pull. Look at the head down on the ball. Pulls the hands in, keeps the head on the ball, stays tight, and likes what he sees. Big time home run there. Let's see what it looks like from the side. Man, it's a thing of beauty. Really a thing of beauty. I know he had been dreaming about a series like this for a long time, and it's really cool to see him come through in this moment. All right, at bat number 4 versus Will Warren. So he's beaten them with sinker, well, with four seams in and changeups in for the 2 homers. And every time they've stayed away the whole time, he's taken his hit to right, or at least attempted to. So he's doing a very good job of having 2 different swings depending on what he feels the Yankees are trying to do to him. Fastball away, fastball in. Here's a fastball away. So I kind of like it now. Stick and move inside and outside, I think, is the best approach here. If he's going to anticipate one of those or the other and give you the swing that pitch choice needs, then why don't you keep him on his toes? You go in, you go out, you go in, you go out, and see if he can't, you can't get the wrong type of swing for you to work at the right moment. That's what the Yankees try here, but again, gets to a 2-1 count, not ideal. Tries to go 2-1 sweeper. Actually a pretty good pitch, but he is able to foul it off, and it goes to 2-2. Not in a great location, but I like it just because they hadn't shown him a breaking ball in the zone in a while, so he's probably keyed in on more of the straight stuff here, sinkers, 4 seams, etc. So I like the attempt here. But again, if he's looking for this, this is another pitch he could probably demolish because that's how locked in he was. 2-2 count. And they're going to go back to a 4 seam, this time away. Huh. Leaves it right down the middle, and he just misses it. So also, you know, you give credit to Vlad Jr., of course, but you also have to acknowledge the fact that some of these Yankee pitchers made some awfully big mistakes to him when they were ahead in the count. All right, last at-bat of the day, also versus Will Warren. So somehow he gets 3 at-bats in this game. Somehow he gets 3 at-bats in this game versus not the starter, Will Warren. So very fascinating there. And Warren did a good job wearing it in this game despite getting lit. Fastball away. And he's actually going to come back to get Vlad out twice after allowing that grand slam. Actually gets him out with the very same pitch type that he gave up the grand slam on a little fastball up. But this game was long over, and he had already done his job and made his presence felt in Game 2. On to Game 3. Now, Game 3 ended up being a Yankee victory, but that really had nothing to do with Vlad because even though they traveled to New York City and they switched venues for this game, his ability traveled along with him, and he got started in the first inning versus Carlos Rodon. First pitch, fastball away, ball. Second pitch, fastball in, ball. So you're already seeing a little bit of an adjustment on the strategy by the Yankees. They're no longer living in one location, whether that be in or out. They're no longer trying to do a ton of switching up pitch types either. I mean, they're doing some of it, but for the most part, they're trying to be more predictable, not only in pitch, but also in location. They start off first pitch away, then they go second pitch in. Let's see what they do here, 2-0 on the third pitch. Okay, so they've started with 2 fastballs. Now they're saying we got to get back in the count. We probably can't stick with a fastball here again. We're going to go changeup. But this is a remarkable swing for his 3rd home run of the series as he stays back on this changeup and demolishes it to the furthest and biggest part of the park out there in left center Yankee Stadium into his own team's bullpen. 110.5 at 27, 427. Now, changeups for me are a really hard pitch to see for most batters, and they do tend to get out front even when they do damage. What's amazing to me in this at-bat is he doesn't get out front at all. After 2 fastballs, he's able to sit back, not get jumpy, not try to do too much, wait for the ball to travel into his happy zone, and then put the fat part of the bat on. It's a really impressive swing. Really hard to be this balanced at the plate, but he does it. And you can see here in his load, like it's a big initial load. So he's ready early, and then on the drift forward, I feel like he's able to hang the leg a little bit longer. Because this is a changeup, he hangs the leg a little bit longer and kind of waits on it, and then he's able to still rotate and kind of do that step back onto the backside. So just an incredibly impressive swing here on a 2-0 changeup in the first inning. No way he's looking for that, but that's just the nature of his ability right now to see the ball deep, not worry about velocity, and punish mistakes in the middle of the zone. Second at bat, they finally get the memo, and they go ahead and intentionally walk him. So now they've tried a number of things, but they're a little bit confused, and they've decided we can't let this guy beat us anymore. So there's one of his first walks, and it's of the intentional variety in the 3rd inning versus Rodon. 4th inning now facing Fernando Cruz. So this is the 2nd time he's faced Cruz in this game. I mean, in this series. And let's see what happens. Fastball down ball, and then he's going to double up on the fastball. And this time, middle in, hits it where it's pitched, even though it's a ground ball, hits it 107. So his high-end exit velocity shows up even when he gets the type of contact that he doesn't want, which is surely a pull side ground ball. But again, 107 ability to not have to cheat on fastballs and be able to cover every speed is very impressive, and he's rewarded with a base hit through the left side. 2 for 2 in this game with a walk, so at this point, completely dominating. All right, Devin Williams, and this is going to be one of the only at-bats where he does not win it, but it took some awfully good pitching by Devin Williams. Perfect paint away with a fastball. Now they're going to go fastball again here. Just up. Triple fastball. So even Devin Williams being cautious coming with the changeup here when he feels like Vlad might be sniffing that out. This ball's an accidental inside flyer. They were set up for a third consecutive pitch away. And now it's 2-1. Here's a 2-1 fastball. Pretty good swing at that, but just under it. Williams did have one of his best fastballs of the season this night. And Vlad, this is the first time I've seen him be a little bit off time. Typically, he's going to smack this pitch to right. It's a big, healthy hack, and he's just under it for 2-2. Finally gets the air bender, the changeup. Another one of those squatty takes, which is something that clearly he likes to do when he takes a pitch that he feels is below the zone. Continues to be absolutely locked in, though, even on his takes. And when you do stuff like that, too, it does kind of let the pitcher know that, hey, I'm onto you, man. You're not going to get anything by me. All right. So we go to 3-2. Devin's going to double up on the changeup. And this is probably the first pitch we've seen him swing out of the zone at. It's a little changeup below the zone. He reaches for it. You know, this is one of the best changeups in the league. And so even amidst an incredible stretch that he was in this series, you're occasionally going to make a tough swing decision, and that's the first bad one that we see, which is incredible because this is the end of game number 3. All right, last at-bat in game number 3 is versus Bednar. With 2 outs a ninth, he does make the last out of the game here. And this is the first time facing Bednar in this series. So this matchup definitely favored Bednar, even though he got to a 2-0 count. But the damage had been done. And, you know, you can still see 2-0, nobody on, 3-run lead. They still show respect by going breaking ball to Vlad Jr. Let's go back to that because this is very odd. You need to throw a strike here. You can't afford to walk him to put a free runner on, and yet they go breaking ball anyway. That just shows you the respect that they had for Guerrero Jr. in this game. The 3-0 fastball's right down the pipe. Here comes the 3-1 fastball. Big hack. This time it was a little bit up and away. It's actually a really quality pitch by Bednar. Pretty hard to get onto this one. 20 inches of vert, dotted on the corner at 98. So this is the challenge that these pitchers present on a daily basis in the big league, especially in the playoffs. You're facing some of the best of the best. But even at the best of the best, overall advantage Vlad, I would say. 3-2, does hit a ground ball. Probably could have had yet another hit if it wasn't for a sensational play by Caballero here, who makes the diving play and throw. But overall, he's got to feel good about the way he swung it in this game as well. Home run, intentional walk, single. So 2 for 4 with a walk. Another incredibly quality day, and that sends us to game 4 of the series. And this was the clinching game where the Blue Jays clinched their trip to the ALCS. And Vlad wouldn't be stopped in this game either. Got on base twice. Here is Cam Schlittler. So you're going to see a lot of fastballs here. Let's see what type of swing he pulls out of the golf bag today. Fastball up, first pitch strike. Mind you, there's a runner in scoring position here, so he knows a single will get the job done. Really good cutter away to get to 0-2. Man, this is a really good cutter. 93-2, kind of stays away from Vlad. But again, just because you're at 2 strikes doesn't mean you're out of the woods with this guy, even though he's a power hitter. They go for the 0-2 cutter, and he shoots it to right. Now, this is the swing I've been talking about that's a separator for Vlad Jr. Just because you beat him one way doesn't mean he's not going to adjust the second time. You have to stick and move with him. If you just stay away with him, eventually you get this swing. I was victimized by this swing many times in my career by Vlad Jr., and it's just an impressive thing that you don't see a lot of guys do. The ability to throw the hands and hit a low slicing line drive to the opposite field. These balls are hits an awful lot. Not to mention, he hits it hard. 102-4, 6 degrees, drives in the first run of this game, and just continues to dominate this series. All right, second at-bat versus Schlittler. That turned out to be the only hit of this game, but we're going to watch every at-bat regardless. Takes a little four-seam down there. Here comes a sinker in. Ball. Again, Yankees showing a willingness now to pitch on both sides of the plate. I mean, even on this one, Wells is set up off the plate away, which is pretty interesting. On a 1-1 pitch, you need to get a strike here. I know they're trying to funnel the sinker back, but they're looking for called strikes. They don't want any part of this guy swinging. All right, 2-1. And now they're going to go back to the four-seam. Gets him to swing below the zone, and McMahon ends up making a nice play. But another very hard-hit ground ball, 108.3. So even his outs, there's a lot to like about his outs. All right, third at-bat for Schlittler. This is a strikeout. This is the only time the Yankees struck him out in the entire series, which is incredible in 20 plate appearances with some of the strikeout stuff that these Yankees pitchers possess. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure it's ball 4. And then he gets screwed here. Now, this was a vicious sinker. This is probably the best pitch that was thrown to him all series. This pitch starts off away. It's 98-4, dots the corner. Once they realized that they weren't going to be able to control his contact at all, they tried to go for the no contact. Nibble on the corner and get you to take him and hope that we can get you looking. That's kind of the approach from the Yankees at this point. They don't think they can get anything by him. Sinker up, ball. 2-2 cutter. Spoils it. And this is another function of that line drive to right swing. Allows you to stay on balls off the plate away and foul them off. So you're seeing just an incredibly mature, advanced approach with multiple facets to his game. Now they go in. Another take. Also, I have to believe that there's a little bit of a fear factor going in for a rookie to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in this spot. He's hit a bunch of home runs. They've all been located, well, 2 of them are located pretty far in. Also, there's the fear of hitting the other team's best player. Never a thing you want to do. This is somewhat of an intimidating player if you're the younger guy in this circumstance. So Schlittler kind of gets gator-armed here and instead leaves it up middle. And we go to 3-2, where he gets fortunate with this called strike 3 right here. This pitch is a little bit off the plate away, so I give Vlad credit for the take, but I also give Schlittler credit for how close and how nasty this pitch was, being basically 99 miles an hour on the black. Sometimes calls are going to go your way. Next year you can tap the hat. But for now, he'll settle for his 1 and only strikeout of the series. All right, we're down to 2 at-bats now. 2 plate appearances left in the series. This one's versus Devin Williams, who got him the first time yesterday in the previous game. But this is their second matchup, this time going changeup heavy. Changeup strike, changeup ball. Here comes the four-seam. Oop, there's that swing, shows up again. Tries to stay with it the other way. One of the very rare hitters that can cover both fast and slow within the same at-bat in the same approach. And even though this is a foul ball, I like the swing in general. So 1-2 count. Back to the changeup. Typically you wouldn't throw a changeup when you think a guy's late, but they're just trying to throw him off the scent and not be predictable. And this was a really nasty changeup. Look at this. This starts in the zone, comes out of the zone, and he does an outstanding job to take it. So even an at-bat where he eventually is going to lose out, he's not making it easy on him, which is all you can do sometimes. 2-2 changeup. Another incredible take. Another incredible take. This ball's a strike for an awfully long time. And to be a great hitter in the big leagues, it's not all about what you do with the bat. It's also what you do in terms of your swing choices, particularly taking tough, close pitches like that and making the pitcher do it again. He says, that's a good pitch, but it's a ball. Do it again. 3-2 changeup. And he spits on it below the zone. So this time, he was all over Williams' pitch shapes. He kind of had a great idea of where the ball had to come out of the hand for him to fire. And a really nice foul ball and 2 great takes lead to a walk, and he's on base yet again. This is a great take on a really good changeup. I mean, this is negative 5.6 vert, 21 inches of run. Starts in the zone in terms of height. Doesn't drop out till pretty late. So the fact that he took it just shows you how locked in he was, even when he wasn't getting hits. And then we'll watch his last at-bat, which is versus Bednar. And at this point, he's probably thinking more about his champagne shower that was coming in about 10 minutes. But he does fall behind on a first pitch curveball. Interesting, though, this is the first curveballs we've seen really thrown to him in this entire series. Everything's been some version of a fastball, a slider, or a changeup to this point. Bednar decides to go curveball, which I actually really like from a pitching perspective. And you can see Vlad's not on that, so the 2 speeds down. Maybe they should have tried this a little bit early, but you get this information, and it's a bit too little too late. There's a split down, and the last pitch he sees is another split. And yet, like I said, not a strikeout. Another ball hit in play. He does pull it to the left side, so quality pitch there by Bednar gets him out. But when it's all said and done, to recap again, Vlad in the series, 529 average. You saw all 9 hits, including the 3 home runs. There was a variety of hits. There was balls pulled. There was balls shot the other way. You saw his ability to load early and be ready for a fastball, and also his ability to ride out soft stuff. Whoever's going to face him in this next series, whether it's Seattle, Detroit, they're going to have their hands full. I'll be curious how they approach him. Maybe they learn a little something with that 2 speeds down approach, i.e. the curveball that we saw Bednar throw him at the very end there. But either way, they have their hands absolutely full with this guy right now. If they gave out MVPs for the DS, he would have definitely won it. And it's awesome. They paid him the big money. The fan base has embraced him, and he has his first big playoff moment in this series versus the Yankees, where he totally dominates them to the tune of a 1,609 OPS in the 4 games. So congrats to the Blue Jays for moving on, and big credit to Vlad Jr. for being an absolute menace in the series. So I want to make a quick video about that, and I hope you guys enjoy this content. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and check out the live streams anytime we're on. They're a lot of fun. Come join the chat and hang out. Anyway, thanks for checking me out. See you guys. Bye.